Behind every locked door lies a story the world was never meant to hear. Welcome to Behind Bars TV, where we uncover the hidden realities of the world's toughest prisons, untold inmate experiences, and the systems built to contain them. From supermax facilities to forgotten penitentiaries, we revealed the truth behind concrete walls and razor wire. This is not fiction. This is the world behind bars. What prisoners really eat in maximum security prisons. Full crime documentary. The meal that defines your place. At exactly 4:32 p.m., a slot in a steel door opens. A tray slides through. No name is spoken. No eye contact is made. Just food. In maximum security prisons, meals aren't about nutrition. They're not about taste. And they're definitely not about comfort. They are about control. What you eat, when you eat, how much you eat, is decided long before the tray ever reaches your cell. Tonight, we expose what prisoners really eat in maximum security prisons, not the version shown in official reports, but the reality shaped by budgets, punishment, power, and survival. Because in places built to dominate human behavior, food becomes a weapon. Stay with us. Because once you see how the system feeds its inmates, you'll never look at a prison meal the same way again. Why prison food is designed to disappoint. In maximum security prisons, food serves three purposes. Keep inmates alive. Keep costs low. Keep expectations lower. Flavor is irrelevant. Pleasure is discouraged. Choice is non-existent. Because in a system built around punishment, satisfaction is seen as a risk. Prison administrators rarely say it out loud, but the philosophy is clear. Food should sustain, not reward. The budget truth. Across the United States, the average maximum security prison spends between $1.50 and $3 per inmate per meal. That budget must cover ingredients, labor, equipment, sanitation, special diets. The result? Bulk carbohydrates, cheap protein substitutes, frozen, processed ingredients shipped by the ton. Nutrition is calculated on paper. Experience is not. What a maximum security meal actually looks like. On paper, a prison meal might be listed as beef entree, vegetable medley, starch, bread product. In reality, it looks very different. The meat is often soy-based, heavily processed, mixed with fillers. Vegetables are boiled until texture disappears. Seasoning is minimal, sometimes intentionally. Because food that tastes good is considered a privilege. Portion control as control. Portions are carefully measured, not to prevent waste, but to prevent leverage. Too much food creates trade. Trade creates power. Power creates hierarchy. So meals are calibrated to meet minimum requirements, and nothing more. Eating alone. Food in solitary confinement. In maximum security units, especially solitary confinement, food is never communal. Inmates eat alone. Inside cells. Sometimes inches from a toilet. At places like ADX Florence, meals are delivered through slots without conversation. No trays clinking in a cafeteria. No shared tables. No human rhythm. Just calories and silence. Psychological impact. Eating is one of the last remaining human rituals. When that ritual is stripped down to mechanical delivery, something changes. Meals stop marking time. They stop offering comfort. They become reminders. You are not here to enjoy life. The loaf. When food becomes punishment. In some maximum security prisons, punishment has a taste. It's known by many names. Disciplinary loaf. Nutraloaf. The loaf. A compressed brick of ingredients designed to meet basic nutritional needs, while eliminating pleasure entirely. Why it exists. The loaf is used during disciplinary sanctions. Its purpose is simple: to remind inmates that privileges can always be reduced further. No choice, no texture, no seasoning, just fuel and control. Who cooks the food? In most maximum security prisons, inmates cook the food. Not because it's rehabilitative, but because it's cheaper. Kitchen jobs are highly regulated. Privileges are limited. Mistakes are punished severely. For many inmates, working in food service is one of the few ways to escape their cells, even if only for hours. Trust and control. Despite stereotypes, food tampering is rare. Consequences are immediate and severe. The system understands something important. Food is already a source of tension. It does not tolerate additional risk. Different prisons, same philosophy. Whether it's a federal supermax, a state death row, or an aging facility like San Quentin, the philosophy is consistent. Minimal cost. Maximum predictability. Zero indulgence. Menus vary slightly. The experience does not. Death row versus general population. Same food, different meaning. On paper, death row inmates and general population inmates often receive the same menu. Same calories. Same ingredients. Same trays. But food is never just food. Where you eat it, how you eat it, and what it represents changes everything. The cafeteria versus the cell. In general population, meals happen in groups. There's movement, noise, routine. Even in maximum security, the cafeteria offers something rare: human presence. On death row, meals arrive alone. A tray slides through a slot. A door closes. The sound echoes. The food hasn't changed. The experience has. Why death row meals feel heavier? For death row inmates, meals become markers. Not of time, but of proximity to the end. Breakfast, lunch, dinner. Each tray quietly confirms, you are still here. And eventually, one day, a tray won't come. The last meal myth. The public imagination clings to the idea of the last meal. A final indulgence. A moment of humanity. A symbolic choice. In reality, that tradition is disappearing. Many states now serve standard prison meals instead. No ceremony. No special requests. Just procedure. Why last meals ended? Administrators cite cost. Others cite logistics. But the deeper reason is control. Special meals attract attention. Attention invites debate. Debate invites scrutiny. And maximum security systems avoid scrutiny at all costs. Religious diets, faith on a tray. Religious diets exist in maximum security prisons. Kosher, halal, vegetarian. But accommodation doesn't mean comfort. Meals are often prepackaged, highly processed, delivered cold. Compliance is legal. Care is optional. Faith versus budget. Courts require prisons to accommodate religion. They do not require quality. So institutions meet the minimum standard and stop there. For inmates, faith becomes another place where the system says, we'll give you what we must. Nothing more. Medical diets and nutrition on paper. Medical diets are tightly controlled. Diabetes, hypertension, dental issues. On paper, nutrition is balanced. In practice, variety is rare. Meals are repetitive. Textures are bland. Morale drops quickly. The goal is stability, not wellness. Hunger, the quiet constant. Ask former inmates about prison food, and one word appears again and again. Hunger. Not starvation. Not collapse. Just a constant edge. Enough to survive. Never enough to feel full. Hunger keeps people focused. Predictable. Manageable. The underground food economy. Where official food ends, an unofficial system begins. Ramen becomes currency. Tuna packets become leverage. Spices become status. Food trades create hierarchy. And hierarchy fills the vacuum left by restriction. Why the system allows it. Administrators know about food trading. They tolerate it quietly. Because controlled pressure is safer than uncontrolled rebellion. Food, once again, becomes a tool. Commissary, the real. If you want flavor in maximum security, you pay for it. Commissary food is not about nutrition. It's about relief. Salt, sugar, texture. A reminder of the outside world. Poverty inside the system. Not everyone can afford commissary. Those without family support eat only state meals. 2 inmates. Same prison. Completely different realities. Food inequality exists even here. Guards and the meals they see. Correctional officers see thousands of meals served. Most don't think about them. Food becomes background, routine. But when meals are late, missing, or reduced, tension rises immediately. Because hunger erodes compliance faster than any speech. When food causes riots. Some of the largest prison disturbances in history started with food. Not ideology, not politics. Meals that were spoiled. Portions cut too far. Schedules disrupted. When food fails, authority is questioned. And the system reacts fast. Is prison food intentionally bad? The theory no one admits. Ask prison officials whether food is intentionally bad, and the answer is always the same. No. Ask former inmates, and you'll hear something very different. Because when a system controls every variable of your life, taste doesn't disappear by accident. The unwritten philosophy. There is no policy that says make food miserable. There doesn't need to be. The logic is embedded in the system. Food that's enjoyable increases demand. Demand increases complaints. Complaints increase scrutiny. So meals are designed to be acceptable on paper and forgettable in reality. Not punishment. Deterrence. Private contractors. When profit meets the tray. Across the United States, many prison kitchens are no longer run directly by the state. They are outsourced to companies like Aramark and Trinity Services Group. These companies operate on contracts measured in pennies per meal. How cost-cutting shows up on the tray. Lower quality protein. More fillers. Frozen vegetables boiled into softness. Every cent saves scales across thousands of inmates. The contract is fulfilled. The experience declines. Lockdown meals. When food becomes minimal. During lockdowns, food changes immediately. Cafeterias close. Hot meals disappear. Variety collapses. Meals are bagged. Cold. Compact. Functional. Enough to survive. Not enough to comfort. Why lockdown food feels worse. Lockdowns remove distraction. When movement stops, hunger becomes louder. And every bite reminds inmates. Normal life can be taken instantly. Cell cooking. How inmates create flavor from nothing. In maximum security prisons, inmates cook without kitchens. Ramen noodles. Instant rice. Tuna packets. Hot water becomes heat. Ingenuity becomes survival. Why cell cooking matters. Cooking restores agency, choice, creativity, control. Even illegal cooking is tolerated to a point because it releases pressure. And pressure management is everything. Flavor deprivation and the mind. Taste is memory. It's comfort, identity, culture. Remove it long enough and something changes. Former inmates describe dreams about food. Vivid, emotional, persistent. The system never mentions this effect, but it relies on it. When food fails health, prison food meets minimum standards, but long-term consequences add up. Weight gain from carbohydrates, blood pressure issues, digestive problems. Medical costs rise quietly. The cycle continues. How prison food compares internationally. In some countries, prison food is part of rehabilitation. Fresh ingredients, cooking programs, shared meals. In the United States, maximum security focuses on containment, not reintegration. The tray reflects that philosophy perfectly. Is it legal? Courts and the food question. Courts rarely intervene in prison food cases. As long as meals meet basic nutritional standards, taste is irrelevant. The Constitution does not guarantee enjoyment. It guarantees survival. What the tray really represents. In maximum security prisons, food tells the truth. About power. About priorities. About control. It feeds the body just enough and starves everything else. You get used to it, what guards and prisoners say off the record. Ask a correctional officer about prison food, and most will shrug. It's not meant to be good. It keeps them alive. They'll eat it, but off the record, away from supervisors, policies, and official language, the answers change. Because everyone inside maximum security knows the same truth. Food is the fastest way to measure morale. What guards notice first. Veteran officers say there are early warning signs. When inmates stop eating vegetables. When bread piles up untouched. When trays come back full. That's when tension is building. Food refusal isn't protest. It's withdrawal. And withdrawal is dangerous. One retired officer put it this way: when the food starts coming back untouched, you know something's wrong. Not because they're picky, because they've lost interest. In maximum security, apathy is a warning sign. You get used to it. Inmates describe a different adaptation. At first, the food is shocking, then disappointing, then irrelevant. Taste fades. Texture becomes familiar. Eventually, meals stop registering as events. They become fuel, nothing more. That adjustment isn't accidental. It's conditioning. Food is discipline. Reward, removal, replacement. In maximum security prisons, food rarely changes suddenly. It changes strategically. Privileges tied to meals include eating in the chow hall, access to commissary food, hot versus cold meals, timing of delivery. Take those away, and the message is immediate. Small changes, big impact. Removing commissary access doesn't starve an inmate, but it removes flavor, choice, comfort, which matters more than calories ever could. Food discipline doesn't leave bruises. It leaves compliance. Famous prison food scandals and what they revealed. Every few years, prison food makes headlines. Spoiled meat, maggots in meals, undercooked poultry. Administrators promise investigation. Contractors promise reform. Then attention fades. Why scandals don't change the system? Because the system isn't designed for satisfaction. It's designed for liability avoidance. As long as calories are met, illness rates stay low, courts remain silent, nothing fundamental changes. The tray returns to normal. Inside the supply chain, where prison food really comes from. Prison food doesn't come from local farms. It comes from industrial suppliers. Mass-produced, pre-seasoned, designed for shelf life, not flavor. Ingredients are chosen for cost, stability, uniformity. Taste is incidental. Why everything tastes the same? Uniform food prevents comparison. If every tray tastes identical, dissatisfaction has nowhere to land. Variation creates expectation. Expectation creates complaint. So sameness becomes policy. Memory, food, and psychological withdrawal. Former inmates often describe the same experience. They don't miss freedom first. They miss food. Not hunger. Memory. A meal cooked by someone who cared. A flavor tied to childhood. A choice. Prison food erases that connection. And when memory fades, identity weakens. Bread, carbs, and control. Carbohydrates dominate prison meals. Bread, rice, pasta. They're cheap, filling, sedating. High-carb diets dull energy spikes. They reduce volatility. They keep populations manageable. No policy says this out loud, but the effect is well understood. Is this a human rights issue? International human rights groups argue prison food should preserve dignity. U.S. courts argue dignity is not a requirement, only survival. That gap defines the American approach. What improving prison food would actually require? Improving food would require higher budgets, more staff, political will, and most importantly, a shift in philosophy. From control to rehabilitation, from punishment to preparation. That shift hasn't happened. What you just saw is more than a story. It's a reality lived by thousands behind bars. If you believe in uncovering the truth, the kind hidden behind concrete walls and silence, then join us. Subscribe to Behind Bars TV and never miss a chapter in the world's most dangerous stories. Until next time, stay aware, stay informed, and stay locked in. Until next time, keep your mind open and your curiosity sharp. Remember, freedom and confinement are sometimes only a wall apart.